Yo, 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 it's your boy, man. We back again, Power Place Palace. This beautiful Monday morning. Look what we got for you today. Let's get down to the chart, man. Let's get down to the chart, man. So on Friday, we had us a pre-market high of 740.84, pre-market low of 739.07. Based off a previous, and we had a previous day high from Thursday of 742.56. And a previous day low of 735.21. And so what we were looking for is if SPY was to break above the pre-market high, and push up, we was gonna be looking for our targets at 740.84, which is the pre-market high, but then 742.56, then 744, 746, and 748. And if SPY failed to break past the pre-market high, then we was gonna be looking at a pullback, possibly to 739.07, because that's pretty close in proximity. And then we was gonna be targeting 737.50, 735.21, 733.50, and 732. And that's what we had on our chart for Friday. So let's look and see what we got, man. Oh man. So SPY came in on Friday, opened up right here at around 738.49. Pulled back briefly to 737.33. It was about 10 o'clock when it pulled back there. And then it pushed up when it got over here to 739.95, but then it pulled back again, got a retest to that 737.43 level. That's the lowest it got. But from there, it pushed all the way up to 743.74, established a new high today, and that was at 12 o'clock. Now, from 12 o'clock to 3:15, man, SPY just pushed down. So you had a good 3 hours of SPY pushing back, and that whole $6 move it made up, it pulled it right back, and then it ended up closing the day out here at 738.85, and then overnight it kind of stayed in the same general range, and then it opened up this morning where it closed out the night at 738.32. It opened up this morning at 744.23, which is a $6 jump. And as you can currently see, it's kind of moving over right now, sliding in there. Right now, it's about 8:15, so you still got like an hour and 15 before the market opens. But as you can see, SPY currently is sitting at the 744 area. So we'll see how that goes, because it ran all the way up to 746.54, which from the end of the day, Friday night, 738 to 746, that's an $8 move. So, that's a lot of space to work with. And that's a huge gap we got sitting right here. That if we break back into this gap, we break below this pre-market low, this gap could be in play. So let's look at the chart for the day, people. Let's look at the charts. Alright, so what we have here, that's the chart from Friday. Hold on, make sure I got the right chart up for y'all. Alright, so that's the chart for the day. As you can see, we currently had that pre-market high of 746.54. So that's a little bit of typo right there, but we will definitely fix that. Then we have a pre-market low of 744.10. So what we were looking at, if SPY was to break above that pre-market high of 746.54, then we will be targeting 748, then 750 to 752 to 754. If it pulled back to 746.54, but if it pulls back to the 744.10, which is the pre-market low, and it bounces from there. Then of course the first level will be 746.54, 748, then 750, then 752. We try to follow that same path back up. Now, if we get a rejection, if it pushes up past that 746.54 again, and we get a rejection, then what we'll be looking at is the 744.10 and the 743.72, 742, 740, and those will be those levels. Now, if it pulls back to the 744.10 before it pushes up into that pre-market high, then what we'll be looking at is 742, 740, and then 730, 730, and those going to be our levels for today. Now, the thing about it is that gap is in play, because usually what happens is if there's a gap, it usually get filled at some point. Now, although you have the previous day's high right here, 743.74, if this thing breaks back into this gap and starts to run down, you do have a clear target down here that you can shoot for right here. Now, you'll pass some previous pre-market highs and lows on the way that are safety nets, like right here where you can see the pre-market high on Friday, which is 740.98. No, 741. I got 741 right here. So you got the pre-market high from Friday that's sitting there that could be something to look at, as a possible stopping area if it breaks back into that that gap, man. That's a big old gap, man. I keep looking at that gap and thinking, man, if it does go up and retest that 746.54 right here, and it rejects hard, it can give them enough momentum to push straight through the. So it's gonna be an interesting day for this Monday. If you're looking at what's currently going on, it went up, created a high. This will be considered a double top right, bam. You see that right there? These two levels. So from a technical standpoint, because these are 15-minute candles and not 5-minute candles, I had a 15-minute chart up today because there was a lot of movement Friday. There's been a lot of candles on the chart from Friday I thought was unnecessary. I could just show it to you on the 15 and you can kind of see a lot cleaner picture. But you can see that's a double top on the 15 right there. And normally when you see that, that's an indicator that it could be a reversal pushing it back down. So that's a possibility. And with it, still being an hour left before the market opens, that's a distinct possibility. But that's just me going over some stuff on the chart. But in the meantime, I want y'all to stay disciplined with y'all trades. Do not overextend yourself. And if anything, if you don't feel comfortable with the trade, then get out of that trade, man, and stay out of it. Especially if you get some profit. If you get some profit on a trade, like, man, I don't know if this trade gonna keep moving. Take your profit and get out. It's not financial advice, you know what I'm saying? I think that's just common sense. But sometimes we need to be reminded. So that's what we doing over here at Power Plays Palace. So once again, that's our trade plan for the day. Watch out for the spy, man. Look at your levels, but definitely pay attention to that gap. To fall back into that gap, man. It could be straight downhill, and you want to get some of that if you're buying them options, that's for sure. But it's your boy, man, Power Plays Palace. We out of here, man. We'll catch up with y'all tomorrow. Hey, this is not financial advice, just ideas from a guy who trades every day. Hey, man, let's do this one more time. This Power Plays Palace. If you want to trade with us, come over to the Discord and Power Plays, and let's get to it, man. It's free to join. You're more than welcome to come. Let's get down to it, man. Power Plays Palace, and we out here.